want to talk to you about live streaming because I need to multi-stream. Right now, I'm just doing LinkedIn.
Yeah, I don't like multi-streaming only because to produce your own show and having to look in 16 different places, I find distracting. But
a little bit here. Let's let this load up. It's saying live, but I don't officially think it's live until I see that little notification come up on my LinkedIn that we are live. But for anybody who's tuning in, hello. We will be with you in a moment. Beth is used to being on the other side and running the live, so we'll see.
You're
how
live.
she can.
I see it.
Oh, great. That's awesome. Let me just load it up here. Give me a moment and we will start the show. We are live. We are live. We are live. It is the 26th day of the month of March, and I feel like it's Groundhog Day, Beth. I feel like I am Bill Murray in the movie Groundhog every single day, especially because I'm doing the lives. But, you know, we're waking up, we're working, we're moving on with life. Good afternoon, Beth Granger. How you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. It's we're definitely living in some alternate reality. That's for sure.
It is bizarro world. But I think, you know, I've been talking a lot about silver linings, and I really think that not just professionally, but personally, everybody's coming together. We're connecting. We're using this technology that's pulled us apart to really bring us together. Real quick shout out. I want to do a technology check here. So anybody who's listening to us and following us on LinkedIn Live, I'm testing out a new microphone here. Two things. Let me know if you could hear me all right on the LinkedIn Live, and also let me know if you're hearing any static coming through and if the audio sounds good, because I'm getting a couple of blips in my ear as I try out this new microphone and see if it's the right piece for me right now. Beth and I are a few miles apart. We're both on Long Island. We're not too far apart here. We've had the opportunity to connect for a while now, and we took our connection offline. And Beth entertained my crazy idea of hosting a LinkedIn local in Long Beach in the middle of the winter.
It was so much fun. It really was. It's for people who don't know what LinkedIn Local is, it's something that happens all over the world. Different hosts are hosting these events. And the idea is to connect with the people you know on LinkedIn, but in person, and hint, hint, soon virtually, because my next LinkedIn Local will be virtual. But so the ones that I host and the one I hosted with you, part networking, part education. And so people got to meet each other. And then there was this amazing panel discussion. And thank you so much for being on the panel. Our topic was building your brand using thought leadership. And it was just a really interesting conversation. And the audience got involved and a lot of fun.
Yep. Beth, I'm going to just change something here because I think I'm getting some weird interference between my microphone and my headphones. So I'm going to just pause for 1 second here. Give me one moment, people. I am going to... We're on the fly here, so I'm trying out technology. I'm going to cancel that. Let's try that. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
I can't hear you on those speakers, so let me shut this off here because I lost my audio for a moment. So you could hear me, but I can't hear anybody. I'm just going to switch to my computer speakers, and I appreciate everyone bearing with me for a moment here. I'm trying out some new technology. How's that?
Can we hear you now?
Give me 1 second here. And I certainly do apologize, everybody.
That's what live's all about, right?
Here.
I was saying I was on a networking meeting that had moved to Zoom.
I do apologize, everybody. I lost the audio. I cannot hear Beth. I'm going to step out of the studio for...
It's just me. I guess I'll talk to you. So I was on a networking call this morning. It was about 20 people on Zoom. Some people weren't.
Hi.
He's coming
Can you hear me now?
Welcome back.
We are back. It's so crazy. I'm getting this crazy static signal.
Well, I'm not hearing it. I don't know if people joining us are. Feedback.
I don't know. If, my new microphone. I don't know.
Ooh, that was good. What did you just do?
Right? Is that good?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh my God. All right, we're live, everybody. We're trying this again. Let's try this all over again. And now I can actually hear people. Hi, everybody. Welcome. And yeah, Beth was so gracious because she's like, who is this guy? I'm going to have a little bit of blind faith in him. I'm going to take a calculated risk here. But we did it, and we had an incredible turnout. We had almost, I think, 35 people or so.
It was perfect. Yeah. I don't like to have it too big. I know some people have held events with like 100 people. I like to make it small, big enough that there are people you don't know, but small enough that you can have a chance to talk to everybody that's there.
And that's super important. Oh, my static went away. Maybe there was like some outside interference. Like that was really crazy.
Are you on cable or FiOS?
Spectrum, yes. Cable,
So,
yes.
Someone told, and I'm not going to be able to explain it technically the correct way, but with cable, there's something to do with the bandwidths that you can use. So especially if you have voice over IP phones, also there can be some stuff that's happening.
Yeah, that was strange. So I appreciate everyone kind of bearing with us for a little bit. So Beth and I share a very similar superpower, is that we are super connectors. We love to bring people together. We love to facilitate conversations, and we love to make things happen. And the Long Beach idea was interesting because I work in a great space in Long Beach called Bridgeworks. It's in Long Beach. It's about a quarter of a mile, even less from the beach. You could go to the boardwalk. And the weather's nice. It's really just an amazing place to be. And there's also a really thriving entrepreneurial community there. Lots of makers, lots of doers, lots of creative types in the area. And it's kind of like a WeWork, right? It's an open workspace. They have offices there too. And I've been working a lot with the founders to really help them build a sense of community. And the idea came, I've seen Beth, who is a master, an OG at LinkedIn Local. And I said, hey, let's bring the party to the beach in the middle of the winter. And we made it happen. We brought together a terrific panel. We had a great conversation. And not only did we facilitate great conversation, but we brought these people together who all work in the same space, who have not had the opportunity to connect or talk. And I think that was an amazing byproduct of it as well.
And people have made some really interesting connections.
Yeah, let's talk about that for a little bit. What have you found?
Someone that came because they knew me, connected with Danielle, who was on the panel, and they are now doing some stuff together. So I'm sure there are other stories that we haven't heard about, but I'm really excited about that.
Yeah, and that's the magic of LinkedIn Local. So how is this thing throwing a complete wrench into your planning and events? I want to talk about the wrench that was thrown in, and I want to talk about, how you personally have been innovating to keep that networking online.
So there are two parts to my business. There's the LinkedIn training, coaching, and speaking. And that actually has seen a very big upturn because people are realizing, oh no, I have to work from home. I'm not going to be able to go to these meetings in person. Right. And so there's that part. And there's almost a little bit of like survivor guilt, or like
a little bit.
I have this opportunity now when other people are having some serious challenges, but it really feels good that I can help people.
And you have to have the mentality, Beth. You can't feel bad about that. Yeah. It's a business. We all got to survive too. And if there's opportunity and you're in need and your business is in need, you got to look out for number one right now. You know what? We help out other people when we can, but please don't feel guilty about that.
No, but I mean, that was the only way I could describe it. But yes, right. It feels good that I'm able to help people. And then the other side is the LinkedIn Local, the events or networking events and things. And those are all moving virtual. I don't know about you, but I feel like I spend my day on Zoom now. Everything from a party, a happy hour to a networking meeting.
My kid, my daughter, my almost 8-year-old daughter, she has Zoom gymnastics. She has Zoom dance class. And so I have Zoom set up on all the computers. It's pretty cool. We're setting up a family Zoom. We did a 45-person Zoom last Friday night with a social group that I'm part of. And people were playing music and we went around the horn and everyone talked about what they were feeling. And we did a group meditation. And I mentioned this at the top of the show. It's bringing us together. And I truly believe, Beth, and I'm taking religion out of it, but I really believe in faith and fate, that the earth and the powers that be said, you know what, humans, you need a reset. You need a pause. You guys are out of control. You guys are not connecting anymore. You're all with your head down. You're not, living in the moment. You're not enjoying life. And maybe in a crazy way, it's the universe speaking to us.
Well, I thought it was interesting on my networking call this morning, said that the Mandarin word for crisis is the same word as it also means opportunity. And I thought that was a really interesting observation, and that, when we look back on this, people are being really creative. They're connecting more with their families and saying, what's really important here? So there are silver linings, hopefully, for everybody.
there's silver linings to be had in everything. And I think the creativity you mentioned, you kind of hit the nail on the head. The sheer amount of creativity that's coming out of this is incredible. And it's a combination of reconnecting with people that you're super close with, that you may become apart from. And we're talking about your immediate family. And you're realizing, oh my God, these are my kids and they're so awesome. You go to work, you go to school, and they go to school, and you only see them a little bit on the weekend, a little bit on the weekdays and the weekends only. But now, everyone's together.
Yeah.
And it's absolutely incredible. What are you doing to keep your spirits high?
So for me, I need to get outside every day. Except for that one rainy day the other day.
Oh, Monday was awful. Monday was
I didn't go out
here in New York.
I've been taking walks. My usual walk is too crowded now. I've gone other directions. They actually closed so I used to walk from where I live to the town dock along the water.
Okay.
And it just got too crowded. They actually closed the town dock.
Well, because too many people had the same idea.
Yeah. So I've been choosing other routes, and that really helps. Just fresh air. And I think even people who didn't walk before, it's just you want to see other humans and you want to breathe fresh air. And so that's really helpful. And honestly, all the conversations. I've never been really a phone person, but I speak to my son, and I've spoke to my brother. And I just think it's, and realizing that everyone's having the same feelings. We're
all in the same boat. For once, all of humanity, some people are a little bit better off because of their, economic situation or their geography, but we're all in this together. Life is canceled. Life is paused. Life is on hold for everybody. Nobody is celebrating or doing anything. There's no parties. There's no events. There's no concerts. There's no shows.
But guess what?
Well, outside shows.
Yeah. There are.
Plenty of shows going on in my house.
Did you see, who was it? One of the late night hosts did a YouTube of his show, and his daughter played the intro music and wrote the captions.
Was it Jimmy Fallon or Kimmel or one of those?
So, yeah, one of them.
Yeah, I saw something like that last night. So getting back to, your core, your two core businesses, I've seen a tremendous, talk about LinkedIn for a little bit. It's a surge. It's a surge of content, a surge of creation. Just on a personal note, I know that coronavirus is a topic du jour. But two things. One, I think we could kind of move away from it. Let me say this carefully. It's important that news and important information is communicated, but please leave a lot of that to the experts. I think that a lot of people who have a lot of influence are spreading a lot. So just kind of be mindful of the information you're sharing. Just be mindful. I'm not saying not to share, but just be mindful of where your sources are. Because there's a lot of big people there with some big numbers who are sharing stuff, and I don't know where it's coming from. That's first and foremost. And I think that we could use this as positivity and all the good stuff coming out of it. I see so many people talking about working from home and figuring it out. And some people, it's amazing. Some people, it's everything that they ever dreamed about, working from home. And then some people, honestly, it may not be. It may be an absolutely terrible place for them for one reason or another, for so many different reasons. So I'm seeing a lot of good content around that. People finding a hard line also because, they are losing business. So some people are being, just an observation on my side, maybe a little bit more heavy-handed with their sales pitches when they need, because they're I don't want to use the word desperate, but they're mindful about them making money. They need to hold themselves up, but that's not going to work. So I think people need to just really be mindful about their tone, not being tone deaf, and being mindful with their messaging. What are you observing on LinkedIn these days?
I agree, and everywhere really. I think the people that are doing it well are sharing information that's useful but real, and like you said, leaving some of the stuff to the experts, and people who are just reaching out to see how others are doing, and not necessarily a sales conversation. I am actually right now seeing slightly less conversation going on LinkedIn and a huge amount on Facebook, because that's where the groups are so active. The LinkedIn groups are not active, but the Facebook groups, every day at 11:30, although I didn't do it today, but
right.
A friend of mine starts a watch party for Cuomo's thing, and we all watch it together.
Everyone's crushing on Governor Cuomo here in New York. I don't want to get political here, so I'm going to bite my tongue on a few different things here, but I will say he is a shining beacon as far as being a smart, logical, pragmatic leader in our times of crisis. And that's what you really need, right? That's what we really need. And that's what our country needs, is someone to step up and really and not just keep us calm, because we're not in a totally calm moment right now, and not that we should be panicking, but you need to have the right information and be able to make logical, rational, sound decisions for you and your family.
Yeah, yeah. So it's I'm finding that the people who have communities and networks, whether geographic or for business, are doing really well because they have people they know will support them and are going through the same thing and they can talk about it. Whereas other people are feeling very isolated if they don't have that in their life.
It's tough because there's a lot of people that are alone. There's a lot of people that are alone right now. And you kind of hit on this earlier. Everybody knows somebody who is alone, and everybody should take the time now to reach out to those people and check in on them, whether it be personal or professional. Reach out as a friend, reach out as a voice. They need it. They need that connection. Us humans, we yearn for physical connection. And when we can't have physical connection, let's utilize the technology that we have now. And I mean, even old school technology, this thing that we have called the telephone.
What's that?
What the heck's a telephone? So on the networking side, are you working on facilitating any like digital LinkedIn locals?
Yes. So
let's hear about that.
The next one, I don't have the date yet, but it would have been great if I had. It's going to be something really, I think, very special. We'll be able to have very similar format because I'll use Zoom, and that allows you to have breakout rooms. So
interesting.
I'll be able to break people up into small groups to have conversation for a couple minutes, kind of like the networking that we would have at the beginning. And then I have a panel, a psychologist, a nutritionist, and a mindfulness expert. And we're going to be talking about physical things going on right now. Plus, I'm really excited because we're going to, you said you did a meditation, we're going to have a short guided meditation. And then to finish us off, we're going to have something called a sound bath.
Oh, interesting. I've done that before.
I'm really excited. So I think it's something that would be very helpful. What I can't figure out actually is when to do it, because there's no such thing as a good time. I used to do it either in the evening or the morning. Now it's weird. Free for all. There's no, I'll just pick a time, and if people can join us, they'll join us.
And that's a good point too, because time is different, right? And I think a lot of people are also finding time innovations, time hacks, time that they haven't had before.
Yeah.
That's fascinating.
But they're not. One of the things for myself I'm noticing, I used to drive a lot or be on the train and have that time either to myself or to work, but it was a break in the day. And other people, if they work in an office, the coffee break or talking to somebody that they see. And now I've been scheduling myself too much, where I have
overscheduled.
Yeah. So I'm trying to leave time between calls and things now.
That's really interesting, because there's a couple of schools of thought there. Like for most people that work in an office, there's a lot of wasted time. And I don't mean wasted time as far as talking to your coworkers, because there's such a tremendous value in that with collaboration, cross-pollination, and all that too. Think about how many times you get up to go to the bathroom, you go to the water cooler, you're kind of putzing around a little bit. I've been working from home for a number of years here, and I find myself to be so much more efficient, which for me has opened up time to, let's take an hour break in the afternoon when it's nice out today and spend it with the kids since we're all home.
Nice.
Or, my wife and I having lunch together, or her ending her work day 6:30 when she normally works till 7:30. And now we could have dinner together as a family. So there's, all those silver linings. But I definitely want to go back to the LinkedIn local digital. Yeah. How's the receptiveness of everyone saying, all right, this is cool, I want to participate, let's give it a shot?
Well, so far I've only spoken to the panelists, and they're totally on board. And we'll see. I think a lot of people who might not have thought it was an interesting thing to do in the past will now, because people are, they hadn't before. Everybody, I've been speaking to so many people in the past few weeks, helping them use things like Zoom and other tools like that. So I think people are craving that connection, and I like whoever is supposed to be there will be there. Kind of how I always think about it.
It's if you build it, they will come. That was our mantra for Long Beach, right? We're gonna build this event, and we're gonna make it happen. And people showed up because, people count on folks like you who have built a business and a reputation for bringing people together, right? And they know that you're a trusted source, and you're gonna not only bring in good people for the panel with good information, but you're going to do it the right way. You're going to facilitate it where it's organized and the flow is there. It's going to be interesting to see when, the storm passes, when it's over, how we're going to get back to reconnecting. I personally think that people are going to be a little bit more mindful, right? A little bit hesitant, and I hope not, but I think that's the world we live in. What are your concerns? What are your optimistic thoughts? What are your legitimate kind of, hey, I don't know about this right now, we might need to chill?
Yeah, that's a great question. I have no idea. Humans are very resilient creatures, aren't we? So what I don't know is, will we situations and be better because of it?
Right.
Will we just forget about it and go right back to the way we were?
Oh, I hope not.
Maybe somewhere in the middle. I don't know. So no predictions. I'm just eager to be in that place and see where we are.
Yeah, it's really going to be interesting. A couple of quick shout outs there. Karen, yes, I always light up when talking about my family. They're my North Star. It's something that I love. It's pretty exciting. Healy, what's up? Kathleen, Varden, my man, Paul. Who else we got out there? Adam Sinkus, always hanging out. Deborah Delgado, how you doing? I hope you're holding up well. Lisa Perlmutter. Everyone checking in. I certainly appreciate you spending a little time with Beth and I. I know your time is valuable now, but any way that we could provide value, entertainment. Let's switch gears to LinkedIn a little bit. I know we kind of touched on it earlier. I think it's a real tremendous opportunity for folks right now to build their brand. What are some guidelines, advice that you're giving people to continue to build their brand, but being a little bit more mindful about their tone in this current situation?
Well, I think right now is a great place to sort of step back and assess how you're communicating everywhere. So even if it's as simple as looking over your profile, is it even current? When was the last time you looked at it? And then when it comes to your engaging with other people, now's a great time to engage with other people's content.
Oh, 100%.
And not that it wasn't before, but it's an even better time. It's also a great time to make introductions for people that you know. So this morning, I actually made an introduction for a real estate attorney and a real estate broker. So even though they may not be able to do anything right now, right? They're not allowed to have walkthroughs or something.
Yeah, no, that's not going down. There's no open houses or anything.
But it's the perfect time to make connections so people can start building relationships. So then when they can do things, they know some new people. Right.
I'm just looking at the comments here. We are going to get out of this, right? The storm is going to clear and we are going to get out of this too. And I urge people the same thing that you're doing, Beth, like have meaningful relationship building, not sales pitch conversations right now. Because to your point, exactly, it's a long game and we're going to come out of this and there will be a time for business. And you know what? There is some business going on, right now. There certainly is, but just be thoughtful. Just be thoughtful of how you talk to people, because there is going to come a point real soon where every single one of us is going to know somebody affected, if not right now. Right. Right now, I think a lot of us are hearing, oh, my neighbor's brother-in-law, my this lady at work's husband. And next thing you know, it's going to be family members for a lot of us. And again, I'm not spreading information about the virus, but I think it's safe to say the majority of us, if we do get it and relatively healthy, we'll get sick, but we'll get through it. But there's a lot of people that won't. So you just really have to be mindful because you don't know who you're talking to and you don't know what they're going through.
Yep. And, I have to tell you, that's true even before this. So people are going through stuff and you just don't know. Everybody, right? There are things either in their family or their own personal life. I think hopefully people will take that knowledge and the way you just said it now and bring that forward and use that in the future, because you just don't know.
You really don't know. And let's talk about some other things. A lot of people talk about upskilling and learning and all that kind of stuff right now, because people do have time, a little bit more time on their hands. And think about those things they've always wanted to do. Learn how to do, everything from video production. I wanted to write a book. I wanted to start a podcast. I wanted to, learn macrame or whatever. I wanted to learn computer coding, whatever it is. Take that time now. And there's so many resources out there, right?
Yeah. feel like I'm busier now than I was before. I want to be mindful of my choices, the time that I spend. But yeah, I know people who are writing books, they're redoing their websites, they're doing crafts or cooking more. I'm cooking more.
Well, that's awesome. Well, I think everyone's cooking
but
more.
I used to eat out more, and yeah, so.
I think we're all saving some money too. My wife and I were talking about it. We're like, hey, listen,
Yeah.
3 weekends of us not going out. We usually go out on a Saturday night, you know, out with friends or whatever. So the cost of going out, the cost of the babysitter, the cost of all that. So we kind of laughed about that too, that now's a good time to save. But going back to the business too, I think it's a good time to also work on your business infrastructure, whether that be your business website that you've always wanted to update, or you wanted to add content, or you wanted to add an additional offering, right? And you want to work on that business plan. Now's the time for that. We're in the cocoon, right? And as the analogy I like to use, we're in the cocoon, and you know, we're building up our nutrients, we're building up our defenses, and it's also, listen, it's nice out. It's not super nice out. It's not like this is happening in the middle of summer, you know, and we'll get there.
One day at a time.
Exactly. I'm still figuring out this microphone. It's really weird because you don't hear the interference, do you?
When you move your hand or when you touch it, I hear stuff, but I'm not hearing in general.
Yeah, I'm kind of figuring it all out. So, you know, I want to close the show here and talk about silver linings. I want to keep everything on a positive note, you know, for everybody. And we're all finding these silver linings, amazing things that are happening to all of us that we never even thought about. So, Beth, you know, I'll end this conversation today, and I want to hear about your observations, you know, the good, the bad, and most importantly, just to end it on a positive note on your silver linings.
So for me, it's really having the time and giving myself the time to just have conversations with people. I mean, I always kind of did, but for instance, I spoke to my brother the other day, or doing the family sort of happy hour or game night on Zoom. And Saturday night, someone invited me to a Zoom 70s disco party.
How did that work?
I don't know. It's coming up.
Oh, it's coming up this Friday.
Saturday. I don't know, but I'm willing to try it. So I think it's the connecting with people part is very special, and just spending time with my family and moving forward and doing what we need to do to protect those around us.
I absolutely love it. And I am pausing on our idea for our next LinkedIn local Long Beach, but I'm pausing on putting a date on it, obviously, because we got to figure it out here. But I really, and I'll talk about this openly, you know, I really love the idea that we're kind of spitballing of doing this again when the weather gets nice, when we have a lot of people in
outside.
And doing it either outside. There's a great parking lot area. We could really make like a kind of round table there, and we could bring in food trucks, and really do something different.
Yep.
And really do something different. And I urge people to use this time also for creative thinking, for whiteboarding, for thinking of outside the box ideas. Write them all down. You know, I love to use, you know, the notes section on my phone here, you know, for crazy ideas. But be mindful. Like, be mindful in your thoughts, your actions, your words, your interactions with people. We are going to get stressed out. We are going to crack. Some of us may break, right?
Yeah. Well, I liked the, I think it was yesterday's press briefing. They have the phone number you can call with a lot of mental health professionals are volunteering their time. So use it. Use it if you need it, and reach out to your friends and your family. Everybody's has the time to listen now and to be there for each other.
I love it. And Beth, just closing thoughts here. I'd love for you to have the last word, because I know I talk a lot sometimes. That's what we do, right? Us hosts, we talk a lot. Is there a mantra? Is there something like you say to yourself every single day to keep your spirits high and to keep you focused and your eye on the prize?
Nothing specific, but I have a couple things that just I think about. One is this idea that you can't plan everything. So sometimes look at something as an opportunity. You'll be able to look back on it in that way, that, you know, what can I be doing now to be better at my business, better as a person, better as a family member going forward? because of this, you're given an opportunity to pause and make use of it.
Absolutely. And I'm wearing this sweatshirt for a reason here. I'm wearing, you got to believe, my Mets, New York. You're watching at home. I'm sitting in my Shea Stadium seats and I'm wearing my Mets shirt.
I love it.
I'm positive, and you got to believe, we're going to get through this. And I can't wait for baseball. That's the biggest thing for me right now, Beth. I can't believe it's opening day should be today. Today's opening day.
No.
But we'll get through this all. Beth, you know how much I appreciate you and our relationship and believing in me, because you got to believe in me. Yeah. And I believe in you, and that's what it's all about, people. And, you know, Beth and I took our online relationship offline and we created something pretty awesome, and we're going to do it again, and we're all going to get through this, and just be here for each other. Really, that's what it comes down to.
Absolutely.
And everybody, you know, following us along, Beth and I certainly appreciate your time. You know, we know it's valuable. Feel free to reach out to either of us. I'm going to go on a limb and say it's okay to reach out to Beth. You know, definitely reach out to us. You know, if there's a way we could help you, a realistic way we could help you or connect you with somebody, you know, with my network, like I know a lot of people might be out of work, and I don't just say, oh, I can help everybody get a job. But, you know, if you see that I'm connected to somebody and I can facilitate an introduction or a conversation, more than happy to do that, you know, for anybody. Or if you just need some kind words or anything you need someone to reach out to and chat, please do so. Awesome. And everybody who is following along, please catch us next week. I'm lining up my LinkedIn Lives. I don't know what I'm doing yet. I don't know. I have a few different ideas. I'm tossing some things around, and we'll just see what happens. Beth, anything you want to promote, plug, talk about? Where could folks find you? Where could they connect with you?
Well, so if you want to connect with me on LinkedIn, please send me a custom message and mention that this is how you came across me, because I get a lot of invites from people I don't know. The other thing is I just started a Facebook group called Level Up with LinkedIn.
Cool.
And while, of course, the conversation is going to be about LinkedIn and other things, right now, I'm allowing it to be whatever it needs to be at this time and place. So if you want to check it out, take a look for that. And thank you so much. This was so great. I'm not used to being on this side of a live.
You're usually on the left side of the screen. What side of the screen are you usually on? You used to be on the left side. Well, I don't know what technology you use. But if you
no, I use the same thing. I'm used to being on the left side. I'm used to having to, you know, read the comments and do all the stuff. So
I didn't even use all my fun stuff. I didn't use my banners. I didn't use my background. I don't
use the ticker.
I love the ticker.
I always forget that.
I like the ticker. Sometimes I'll put that one up. But awesome. Beth, thank you so much for joining us today. And everyone watching at home, I appreciate you and your time. Keep positive, stay strong, and take care of each other. And wash your hands. Be good. Take care.